Hi, how's everybody doing? We hope everyone's doing really well. Today we are making carne asada and we're going to use it in tacos.
Or without a tortilla.
Without tortillas, true.
And occasionally you may see the second sous chef walking through the camera.
Because he finally made it to New Mexico today.
New Mexico, so.
That's right.
Yeah.
He's quite excited. And actually, you'll see we look exactly the same in the final video of the week because we're making two dishes in one, but we'll get to that one in a little bit. It's time for another episode of Cooking with Kaitlin. That's me. Enjoy. All right. Dee is chopping up 2 onions for us for our recipe today. So just wanted you guys to see that. She's just going to slice them up.
The recipe calls for 3 onions, but I can't eat that much onion, so.
We reduced it down to 2.
They're really nice for me.
Yes. All right, and then I'm going to pause y'all and get set up to move over to making our marinade, so hang tight. All right, so we're mixing together the rest of our marinade. What we have is 1/3 cup of lime olive oil, and we actually got it from a place here in Albuquerque, Old Town Olive. Let me look at it. Yes, Old Town Olive Oil Company.
Give them the website and Facebook or
Yeah, if you look up Old Town Olive Oil on Facebook or online, you will see it. It's in historic downtown Albuquerque. Got some really fun ones there. You'll see other recipes when I get back with that as well. If you do not have lime olive oil, and many don't, it's 1/4 cup of regular olive oil and 2 tablespoons lime juice. But we figure we have lime olive oil, so that's just all we're going to use. And then we will add the rest of our things. All right. So we've got some oregano. Doing 1/2 teaspoon of oregano.
Do you want to go walking outside or something? You're recording, sorry.
Then we're going to do 2 teaspoons of rosemary. A 1/4 teaspoon of cumin. And then a 1/2 teaspoon of, if you remember from when we did the avocado eggs, that New Mexico red ground chili powder. So we're doing 1/2 teaspoon of that in there. And then we're going to do some garlic. We saved that for last because we'll need the big one for that, just a bit.
Yes, and I'm stuck chopping up all the onions.
We did tell her she could just put them in the food processor if she really wanted, but she did not. It's true. So 1.5 tablespoons of garlic. You can add more if you like. You could do a little less. We know Dee likes a little less, so we're going with kind of the basic amount. And then I forgot a spoon. Hang on. All right, so we're stirring all those ingredients together so they're evenly mixed. We have our 2 pounds of flank steak over here that we let come to room temperature and pat dry. I've got one of the onions chopped up in here so you guys can just see. Now we're going to pour our marinade on over. Sorry guys, it's taking a while to get it all out. Get all the yummy goodness on there. All right. Then just getting everything nicely coated. Want that all on there, marinating it. Getting that on our onions too. And with this, like, we're gonna let it sit for a little while we actually get stuff prepped for our other dish. So you just let it marinate about how long you want. You know, at least about 10 minutes, probably not more than about 30. And then it's up to you how you want to cook it. You can grill it. You wouldn't do that with the onions like this. You do the onions separately. You can put it in the oven and broil it if you want, or you can put it in a skillet and cook it on the stove top. So we will check back after this has had some time to marinate. All right, now that it's marinated about half an hour, we've got the onions and the steak in a skillet. We put a little bit more of that olive oil on there, heated it up, and we're gonna let it cook about 6 to 8 minutes on each side. So I'll check back when it is time to flip it. All right, so now we are flipping our carne asada. We're gonna move the onions out underneath it a bit. We're gonna go about another 6 to 8 minutes. And I've been kind of checking on the onions while we do this, making sure they're getting nice and tender. It all smells just so good, y'all. So good. We will check back when it's done. All right, it's finished searing on both sides. We're gonna move it to a platter and let it rest before we carve. Remember, we always let meat rest 5 to 10 minutes before you do any carving so it soaks up all the juices. So we will come back over on that side when it's time to do that. All right, so we've let this rest close to 10 minutes, and we're gonna cut it, and you'll see the lines, so that's the grain. We always carve against the grain when we're doing stuff like carne asada. And you're just gonna carve it to your desired slicing. So depending on what you're gonna do with it, will be how thick or thin you want your pieces to be. But we're gonna do that with it. You can put it, again, like we said, on tortillas. You can top it with sour cream, with guacamole, with a red or green sauce. And there we are. Very yummy. Bon appetit, buen provecho, and we will see y'all later.